What up, folks? I'm Ultrazilla, and this is an Ultra Z News special report. I wanted to keep this separate from the regular Ultra Z News because, when it comes to news, I want to talk about the toys that are coming and, the excitement about it, not this stuff. But this is, something very important for us collectors to know about if you don't know, especially import collectors. This is who it affects the most. It's all about tariffs, and the current thing we're talking about is the de minimis exemptions, which for the longest time there was no tariffs charged for anything under $800. That changed this week, and now these things are subject to change, subject to being charged. That's the change. And from what I hear, it's like a minimum of like $80 that they would charge. Now the thing is, because of this, Japan Post and EMS have canceled like orders to the US, completely, because there's no way for this to be really collected by them, and to charge us for it. So they've stopped it from doing it completely. So completely shut down on that front. You can't do Japan Post EMS on any products coming out of Japan anymore. And there's other countries that this affects. It's not just, Japan. But we're talking about Japan because that's where a lot of our stuff comes from. Now, China has its own thing going on, separate from this, and it's not really affected by this. It's weird. It's very weird, but you can still order stuff from AliExpress, and such. However, if you're getting stuff from, let's say, HLJ, Hobby, Genki, Ami, who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting a few. There's a lot of stores. Hobby Search in Japan that we order stuff from. Then it's a lot harder. Amazon Japan, you can still order stuff from. They got their own system now. FedEx is a company that we should be able to get stuff by, but a lot of these companies are also suspending FedEx because it's very hard to do. Some places are still using UPS, some places are still using DHL, but that might change as well. I know Hobby Genki, I believe, is still using DHL. So if you need something, maybe order from there. HLJ canceled all orders to the US for now. You can't get anything. I actually had one thing in my private warehouse. It's a very small thing, like a Tomica car. Something I wanted for a long time. But now it's stuck there. And I wasn't going to ship that on its own, and I had more stuff coming up in the next month. I had two major things for me that were coming out in the next month there, and I was gonna wait and ship them together. And now I don't know what's gonna happen. I actually, me personally, you guys do whatever you want. I've canceled all my pre-orders. I only had pre-orders at HLJ. I didn't have a lot of pre-orders around internationally right now. Just at HLJ through next year, early next year. I had something like 7 or 8 pre-orders. I canceled everything. Done. It was actually good for me personally to wipe that slate clean. Not that I wanted to, and there's stuff there that I really want and really want to cover here on the channel. I'm just going to play it safe and do a wait and see. Because one, I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't know how long HLJ is going to, just not do any, shipping at all through anybody, so that's a big factor. I might, look into getting a couple things from Hobby Genki in the coming month. Stuff that I wanted, if things don't change there either. And this is very, very fluid. So do make sure when you're going to order something that, that store is still shipping the item. Or else you're gonna be just, stranded. A bunch of folks tried to get stuff out before this, but me personally, again, I had no choice. I wasn't shipping a small little car. You know, like, I wasn't paying the full shipping for that. That easily goes into another box. I will wait. Luckily, it was only that, honestly. Like, I will wait, whatever. Like, that could wait. The good thing about what HLJ is doing, it's like they're holding it indefinitely. Like, no problem. So hopefully things change, you know, like, and I think things will change because there's a lot of pushback from a lot of these countries on Trump, on these stupid tariffs. Like, it makes no sense. Like, we've never needed this particular tariff. Let it go. Let it go. You know, whatever you're doing, do it a different way. You know, there's other ways. You're like hurting so many companies like this. And it's not just the companies, you know, in Japan. It's stores here, like mom and pop shops and smaller stores. They're not going to be able to get the stuff that they order direct from like Japan easily. So you're just hurting a lot of your own folks. And, you know, and I've talked about this part too. A lot of stores that we deal with here, you know, that tariff thing is gonna be charged back to us, and it has already. We've seen that already, and that was before this thing. Now, like I said, Amazon has their own thing going. They're a huge, huge company. If you want to order stuff from Amazon, you can, and I think you should be okay. But again, make sure. I'm talking to Amazon Japan. Now, the simplest thing we can do as collectors, and I feel for a lot of these companies that are losing money, like HLJ, on us U.S. customers, and these other, you know, stores out there. The simplest thing for us to do is what I did. Cancel pre-orders, order the stuff here from like a Big Bad Toy Store, an Entertainment Earth, an Amazon here, you know, and, you know, hope they get their orders, but it's a lot easier to cancel from any of those here, you know, so it's already here in the States. It'll be here. So whatever charge there might be, it might just be built into the charge, or, you know, like, you'll see it ahead of time. You won't be, like, invoiced later by FedEx, you know, USPS, DHL, whatever, however it works. Although DHL, I believe, and FedEx do have their own systems, but a lot of folks, you know, a lot of these foreign stores are, like, cutting out FedEx for whatever reason. I'm not 100% sure. Again, it's a little bit, you know, murky. I feel like just some of these stores just don't want to deal with it at all. And I don't blame them. It is a big hassle. It is ridiculous. So I don't blame them from, you know, not wanting to do this stuff. We don't want to deal with it as collectors, right? Like, that's just like, do we need, this stuff is expensive enough as it is. Like, we do not need more to be added on. So, you know, like, my big, you know, best advice is just, you know, let your pre-orders go for now, because, or you could wait it out. However, you know, you might be looking at a huge long wait, because like I said, it's a very fluid situation. Again, some of these stores do have other options currently, but that might change in the coming days. Very fluid, things are changing rapidly. So, you know, nobody wants to be charged like this, like $80 flat fee that I'm hearing, you know, so it's, you know, it sounds bad. It's anything underneath $800. So that's pretty insane. Like, if I buy something for $50, $80 on top of that and shipping, nah, that's a little bit too much for me. So there's a pause for me on shipping anything out of Japan. It's unfortunate. I don't want to do it. My you know, big shout out to HLJ, because they're very gracious about this stuff, understanding, extending stuff, you know, indefinitely. Also, I had 2 items on my pre-orders coming next year, but I didn't want to take a chance that I couldn't cancel myself, and they were very good about just canceling it. They understood. So, you know, right now for me, it's just good. Reset that. Don't have to think about that. There's a lot of other stuff to worry about, and I'll get stuff as they come. Hopefully, Bandai keeps, getting the stuff in bulk and distributing it to all the stores here. So, like, that would be one less thing. Like, I hope, like, my pals at Muteki Sales, like, are able to get their shipments without, like, massive tariffs on top of stuff. I hope there's more of a system in place there because, Bandai's bringing it in. And again, just, besides stores like that, use the stores that will continue to get stuff in. Will some of this stuff, like import stuff, be harder to get? I don't know. We haven't heard anything like direct from Bandai because this is like a smaller order thing, right? So all their stuff that they ship here is large quantities. So I don't think there should be a problem, and I think the stores here should be able to get, the product. It's just a matter of, is it going to be a lot more expensive? Is it going to be a little bit more expensive? I don't know. We'll have to see how this goes. But in theory, it shouldn't be any different than it is now, because this impacts more us as collectors if we want to shop in places, like from Japan, like HLJ and Hobby Genki and all that, Ami. It almost feels like what Trump is doing is like forcing us to shop US. I get the sentiment. I get it. But that's just not how we as collectors think. We like to get stuff from, Japan sometimes, China, whatever. We like that. We like the freedom of being able to shop wherever we want to. Isn't all, what, the whole, like, Make America Great Again is about your freedoms? I should have the freedom to shop wherever I want, right? So, like, it kind of contradicts a little bit of what that was all about. And we heard so much about that, in the last, like, 8 years almost, right? So it just doesn't jive well with me, all these tariffs and what the underlying things that's happening because of it. But I want to shop wherever I want to shop. But right now, I am gonna be shopping more US than outside the US, just because it's safer. And that's it. Like, that's my best advice to you guys is, think about it that way. Just, it's better to be safe and to know your prices up front, even if it's a little bit more, than sorry and get charged a boatload later. As far as me as a reviewer, it is what it is. I've been kind of behind anyway, other reviewers with a lot of stuff. So for me, it is par for the course. Losing is par for the course. And honestly, like, any reviewer that's trying to get stuff first from Japan and paying like crazy amounts of money, even if they can, more power to you. You go do whatever you want. I'm gonna try to continue to save my money and do what I do here, regardless. So there you go, guys. I hope this clears it up a little bit. Again, it is confusing, but the gist of it is right now, it's not going to be easy to get stuff out of Japan without getting charged. So probably shopping local is your better bet right now. All right. And there you go, guys. Further conversation happen in the comments. Go right ahead. You have some more clarity, please enlighten us. That is great. Conversation is great. Help us to understand more is absolutely wonderful. And there you have it. But let's keep it clean. Let's keep politics out of this. I know, like, I delved into certain things, but let's try to help each other out more, because when it comes to this stuff, what we are talking about here, we're all collectors, and that's it. Let's do collectors helping collectors and try to figure this all out together. And there you have it. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Peace out, peeps.